Page 12. Unit 2. Camping. Lesson 1. In the woods. A. Listen, point, and say. 1,
Study insects.
2,
Identify trees.
3,
Pick wild strawberries.
4,
Find animal tracks.
5,
Explore a cave.
6.
Collect leaves.
Page 12. B. Listen and number. Then talk about the picture. 1,
There are so many trees here. This is a good place to collect leaves.
I have 5 different leaves. How many do you have, Julie?
I have 8 leaves. They're red, green, brown, and yellow.
I can use my book to identify the trees.
I like that gray one. What kind of tree is it, Carla?
Here's a picture of it. It's called a birch tree.
2,
What are you doing, Emma? I'm finding animal tracks. There are some long tracks in the mud next to this river. I think they're from a rabbit. Rabbits have long feet.
3,
Look at this cave. I can see frogs and spiders in there. Can we explore a cave, James? It's too late in the afternoon, Danny. We can explore one in the morning. Okay, I'll bring my flashlight.
4,
Will you help me pick wild strawberries, Jay?
Sorry, I'm studying insects.
There are insects on these strawberries. You can study them.
You're right. Those are black ants. See, they have 6 legs. They like strawberries a lot.
I like strawberries a lot too.
Page 13. C. Listen, ask, and answer. Then practice.
What was she doing in the morning?
She was studying insects.
What was she doing in the afternoon?
She was studying insects.
Study. Studying. Identify. Identifying. Pick. Picking. Find. Finding. Explore. Exploring. Collect. Collecting.
1,
What was she doing in the morning?
She was studying insects.
2,
What was she doing in the afternoon? She was identifying trees.
3,
What was he doing in the morning?
He was picking wild strawberries.
4,
What was he doing in the afternoon? He was finding animal tracks.
5,
What was she doing in the morning?
She was exploring a cave.
6,
What was she doing in the afternoon? She was collecting leaves.
Page 13. D. Listen, ask, and answer. Then practice.
Was he studying insects in the morning?
Yes, he was.
Was he studying insects in the morning?
No, he wasn't. He was identifying trees.
Was he studying insects in the afternoon?
Yes, he was.
Was he studying insects in the afternoon?
No, he wasn't. He was identifying trees.
Wasn't. Was not.
1,
Was he studying insects in the morning? Yes, he was.
2,
Was she collecting leaves in the afternoon?
No, she wasn't. She was exploring a cave.
3,
Was he picking wild strawberries in the morning?
No, he wasn't. He was collecting leaves.
4,
Was she finding animal tracks in the afternoon?
Yes, she was.
5,
Was he identifying trees in the morning?
Yes, he was.
6,
Was she exploring a cave in the afternoon?
No, she wasn't. She was picking wild strawberries.
Page 14. Lesson 2. Making camp. A. Listen, point, and say. 1,
Set up the tent.
2,
Build a campfire.
3,
Roast fish.
4,
Tell stories.
5,
Put out the campfire.
6,
Look at the stars.
Page 14. B. Listen and say. Then practice.
She was setting up the tent when I arrived at the campsite. When I arrived at the campsite, she was setting up the tent. Set. Setting. Build. Building. Roast. Roasting. Tell. Telling. Put. Putting. Look. Looking.
1,
She was setting up the tent when I arrived at the campsite. When I arrived at the campsite, she was setting up the tent.
2,
She was building a campfire when I arrived at the campsite. When I arrived at the campsite, she was building a campfire.
3,
She was roasting fish when I arrived at the campsite. When I arrived at the campsite, she was roasting fish.
4,
He was telling stories when I arrived at the campsite. When I arrived at the campsite, he was telling stories.
5,
He was putting out the campfire when I arrived at the campsite. When I arrived at the campsite, he was putting out the campfire.
6,
He was looking at the stars when I arrived at the campsite. When I arrived at the campsite, he was looking at the stars.
Page 15. C. Listen, ask, and answer. Then practice.
What were you doing when you saw the deer?
I was setting up the tent. 1,
What were you doing when you saw the deer?
I was setting up the tent.
2,
What were you doing when you saw the deer?
I was roasting fish.
3,
What were you doing when you saw the deer?
I was putting out the campfire.
4,
What were you doing when you saw the deer?
I was looking at the stars.
5,
What were you doing when you saw the deer?
I was telling stories.
6,
What were you doing when you saw the deer?
I was building a campfire.
Page 15. Skills. Reading and writing. D. Listen and read. Then answer the questions. Star Camp.
When I was on vacation, I went to a camp where boys and girls look at the stars. At the campsite, a boy named Jason was setting up his tent. I asked him what he was learning about the stars. I'm learning their names and how to read a star map, said Jason. It's a lot of fun. When is the best time to look at the stars? I asked. The best time to look is late at night, when it's clear and not cloudy, said Jason.
1,
What was Jason doing at the campsite?
2,
When is the best time to see stars?
3,
What is Jason learning about the stars?
Page 16. Lesson 3. Reading. A. Talk about the story. Then listen and read. The cave. Danny and Mike are studying insects when they find some animal tracks. They follow the tracks to a cave. Mike takes out his flashlight and looks inside. "Let's explore it," says Danny. In the cave, they find more tracks. They see brown spiders, green frogs, and black ants. The boys walk for a long time. They start to worry, but then Mike sees a way out. "Look, Danny," says Mike. "We should go back to the campsite." The boys are hungry and tired. They look around, but can't tell where they are. "I think we're lost," says Danny. Then they hear something behind them. "Hi, Danny. Hi, Mike," says Emma. "Where were you all day?" "Emma! Julie!" the boys shout. "We got lost," says Mike. "Which way is the campsite?" "It's that way," says Julie. "We'll go with you." "Thanks a lot. Is it far?" asks Mike. "Not really," says Emma. "Look over there." Emma points to some trees. Mike and Danny look. The campsite is right in front of them. Page 17. C. Sing. Which way is the coffee shop?
Which way is the coffee shop?
It's that way.
Thanks a lot. Which way is Mexico?
Sorry, I don't know.
Which way is the city zoo?
It's over there, we'll go with you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Which way is the coffee shop? It's that way. Thanks a lot. Which way is Mexico? Sorry, I don't know. Which way is the city zoo? It's over there, we'll go with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Page 17. D. Listen and say. Then act.
Which way is the campsite?
It's that way.
Thanks a lot.
Which way is the campsite?
Sorry, I don't know.
Thanks anyway.
Page 18. Lesson 4. Plants. B. Listen, point, and say. 1,
Oxygen.
2,
Seed.
3,
Size.
4,
Root.
5,
Underground.
6.
Stem.
Page 18. C. Listen and read.
The parts of a plant. Plants give us food, clothing, and oxygen. There are over 250,000 kinds of plants in the world. Many plants have 6 parts. Each part has a job to do. Seeds. Seeds come in many shapes and sizes. When seeds are in the earth, they grow and become new plants. Roots. The roots of a plant usually grow underground. They take in food and water for the plant. Stem. The stem grows up from the roots and helps the plant to stand. It stores food and brings water to other parts of the plant. Leaves. Leaves grow out of the stem. They use the sun to make food for the plant. Flowers. Many flowers are colorful. They help the plant to make seeds. Fruit. Some plants grow fruit, which have seeds in them. Apples, oranges, and tomatoes are all fruit.